with this show with Bamenda music, because I want to tell people something. In Manu, when I started National Telegraph, the senior divisional officer from Manu at the time, Peter Tiende, was a man from Bamenda, from Bafanji. They learned, or what you want to call senior state council at the time, was a man from Bamenda still. You know, Bafanji is in Ngokutunja division. I've gone right to Bafanji myself, so I've been privileged to visit all the headquarters of all the counties in the Northwest. In fact, I've taught all the 13 counties of Southern Cameroon. I went to Bafanji. At the time, the senior division officer for Manu was Peter Tiende. In the same Manu, at that period, another Bamenda man. So I'm saying that Bamenda people, you people are the best, and we respect you, and we love you just as much as we love our Bakweri brothers. They have tried to share us, to divide us, but they will not succeed. Please, when you join, you share extensively, because there are a lot of things I'm going to say today. The land state council at the time in Mamfe was Mr. Sanju Didakos Limnyo, who is a man from Mbiame. Mbiame is in Bui division. It's going, you go towards Kumbu and the rest of those areas. And I also had one of the delegates, the delegate of Water and Energy, Mr. Lamia Valentine, who was a Bamenda man. The chief of taxes at the time, Mr. Kum Emmanuel. I named one of my sons, one of my twin sons, after Mr. Kum Emmanuel, who worked as a divisional chief of taxes for Manu. You know, he was from Womb. I've gone to Womb several times. I slept in Womb. For those of you who know Womb, you know about Legnos Hotel in Womb. I've slept in Legnos Hotel. I've gone to Zekebulua. Zekebulua is a part in Womb. I've spent time in that area. I've also spent time, Womb is in Mentrum. And I spent a lot of time in Befang. Befang is the boundary, you know, it shares boundary with Mezam, where you have Bafut. I'm trying to talk to the Bamenda people. You know, I've gone right down there, going to Akwaya through Befang, Baworo, you have Befang, Mondele, Benakuma, Baworo, and the rest. You go right up to Akwaya. I've also gone to Sabongari, that is in Ndunga Mantung division. You know, I've gone to all of these places, and I was privileged to school in Momo, in GHS Widikum, that has now been converted to GBHS Widikum. I trekked from Widikum to Batiba, of course on foot, where I came to carry this chemical that I used to make cocoa soap. I carried on my head with some of my brothers when I used to stay in Widikum in Dishe 1 and Dishe 2 and part of Market Square. One of my best friends was from Dok in Bamenda. I'm trying to tell us that this northwest-southwest divide is not going to work, because I've lived with all these people. I have best friends in Bali. I spent the night in Bali. You must have seen some of my pictures on Facebook in Bali. I've been Bamenda, that is a hut where I did my business, where I came to print my papers. Then to come to Boya, where it's Bakweri land, that's where I went to university. And of course, I've been to Kupe Maninguba because Nguti is part of Mamfe diocese. I've gone to Indian areas in Indian because of course my wife is from Indian. Basically, I have colleagues in Meme, in Kumba, and other parts of Bonge that I visited. One of my best friends in Mamfe at the time, Akime Lovek, is of course a child from the Tombe area. So I've gone to all these places in southern Cameroon, and I've come to a conclusion that these people are interwoven. They are one people and they cannot be divided. For that reason, you know, I want to dedicate, just as I've dedicated the first track to the people of the Northwest, and by extension, the people of the Southwest regions, or Southwest region, I want to dedicate this other special track to all the molars in Boya who have fought hard and disgraced Patrick Ekema. This music is a special dedication to you all. You know, our love as a people is what is carrying this movement apart. I'll leave you with TATAW King. You know, TATAW King is one of those rare gems, you know, in the music industry in Southern Cameroon that we will celebrate. Unfortunately, most of these our heroes have not stood up to sing for this movement, but we understand. A special dedication to all the Bakuri people, all the Bamenda people, and begin to type that we are one. Southern Cameroon is one. Everybody watching me, say Southern Cameroon is one. When you join, you share extensively. I want to see the lives they share before we start the show. Southern Cameroon remains one and indivisible. There is nobody who can divide us. Please, once you join, you share and you type, Southern Cameroon is one. We are one, we are one, we are one. That is the message. And that is the message we want to take out there to our republic. To know that we are one. And that nobody can ever divide us. Okay, I think we have had enough of the music from TATAW King. And now, since we have over 500,000 people watching the show, I'm going to go to the crux of the matter. And I'm going to start with activating Graffi 101. You know, the truth is that Ambazonians have been very kind. And we have been so kind to the extent that some of these people have taken us for granted. Definitely, it is not going to be business from Monday. And I want to inform the people of Boya, the people of Limbe, the people of Kumba, and those in other parts of Southern Cameroon. Please, when you join, you type Ambazonia is one. Thank you so much. Anna says Ambazonia is one and indivisible. Perfect. We are one. A conch says we are one. And of course, all for one. That is the motto. You know, some people think that we are joking. I want to say that we shut down every government activity in Southern Cameroon. But let me first of all warn about the ghost town on Monday. And to say that we have ghost towns only on Monday. And that for the people of Boya, Limbe, Kumba, as you get my voice at this moment, please, you have to stay indoors. Because it is not going to be easy. If you know that you are a man, in fact, there are strict instructions for anybody to be garrotted when you go out on Monday. We will not care if you are a traitor or you are a civilian who is trying to do something. Do not go out there, want to go and play ball on the street. This movement is no longer that kind of ghost town. No. It has taken another dimension. And we have to stay indoors. When you hear we come online to say ghost town. Please, I want you to take this as seriously as important. Now, we are going to talk on this very important issue, Graffi 101, that I'm going to apply. We are going to apply stricter census on government officials because it is by extension we are announcing a shutdown of any function of the Republic in Southern Cameroon. We are shutting down everything that has to do with our Republic. In fact, 2 days ago and yesterday, we have been talking with ground forces, and they have received firm instructions that from henceforth, starting Monday and especially from September, any government official that will be found in any office will be arrested, and one of the hands will be garrotted. We are saying this because it's important for these announcements to be made before the time. You know, for those of you who think we are joking, it is very important for me to announce that come mid-August and end of September, no La République office is going to function anymore, because we are going to be guarding the hands of government officials. We don't want anything to do with La République du Cameroon, because we have been, tolerating government workers thinking that our brothers. But of course, we have realized that we are not supposed to think in that direction, because it is war. What did I say? I said it is war. And so any government official that will be seen anywhere around a government office, we are sorry, we have to move to other locations. I think I have a little problem with the networking here, but we thank God that we have gotten back connection. And just like I was saying, before we had this little network interruption, that from September, if we see anybody working with La République du Cameroun who want to go out there contrary to the orders of the people of Ambazonia, that person will be garrotted. Of course, I want you to know that no matter what you think, put it in your head today that we must be free come rain, come shine. I want you to know that the independence of Southern Cameroon is not out for bargain. And just remember one thing, that the Republic has said many things over the years. This is the third year running, third year on the road, and they have not been able to stop the movement. It tells you one thing, one important thing. Please, once you join, you share extensively, because we have a lot of things to discuss today. Like I was saying, that any government official that will go to the office from September 1st, Restoration Forces will allow you to go to the office, and once you come back to the house, they will come and arrest you, and then they will carry your one hand inside your house, because we don't have time to carry people to the bushes anymore. Now, when we say these things, some people think we are joking. Is my sound okay? I see some people complain about the sound. Is everything okay? If my sound is okay, let me know. I think it's okay. So, like I was saying, Restoration Forces, take note. I saw issues in Yaoundé and I laughed. You will remember that if you watch the TV station, the crooked TV station called CRE TV, no chief, none of the arrested chiefs or the chiefs who were released, none of them spoke anything. None of them said a thing. And let me tell you that the release of these chiefs, like I would say, was not based on Patrick Ekema. It was based on the fact that Ambazonians are smarter than La République. Let me tell you how the arrest of those chiefs now have played in favor of this movement. You know, God is very wonderful. We arrested the chiefs. Nobody should come and tell you that it was a Tanganjipo. No. Or Ekema. No. Ekema did not pay anybody to arrest those chiefs. We, Ambazonians, we arrested those chiefs. We then released those chiefs. And then, God so kind, Ekema Patrick took those chiefs to Yaoundé. And they showed them on CRE TV, telling the world that Ambazonians arrest people as prisoners of war and later release them when they discover that their investigations have been completed. Is that not a plus diplomatic leader the Republic did for us for free? That was free publicity. And you people should be kind enough to thank Mayor Kema for assisting us in telling the international community that terrorists do not arrest people and release them like that. Did they tell you people that they negotiated with the restoration forces? No. They told you people that the restoration forces released the chiefs. Yes, we released those chiefs because we are people who respect international law. Because after investigations, we have seen that those chiefs have completed the process of purifying the dirt that they brought upon the capital of Southern Cameroon, Buea. And so Ekema carried those chiefs, paid transport from Buea, went to Yaoundé, called CRT for free, and advertised Ambazonia to the world that we have wonderful restoration forces. We are amongst the few most civilized armed groups in the world. Rebels. We are rebels, yes. A rebel is a group of people or people who have picked up arms against a government who oppress them. That is the definition of rebel. Rebel is a compliment. It is not any insult. We are the only people who arrest people and release them for free. Did you hear any chief saying that they paid any ransom? No. So, we are saying that yes, we release those chiefs because we respect the Geneva Convention on who a war prisoner is. So I want to thank Minister Paul Atanganji and others who have shown the world that we, the people of Ambazonia, are a people who love international law. We, the people of Ambazonians, the people of Ambazonia, we the Ambazonians, we do not kill our chiefs. We, the people of Ambazonia, we do not hurt innocent people. That, despite the fact that they held our leaders incommunicado for over close to 6 months now, we, the people of Ambazonia, did a video to show the world that we have these people and they are talking and they are fine. We showed signs, we showed proofs to their families that we have their parents. We showed proofs to their communities that we have their chiefs. And the communities later on collaborated with us by disgracing Ekema, by not going to march. That is victory for Ambazonia. Yes, oh yes. And the Yaoundé regime, ignorantly, stupidly, because God has punished them, took those chiefs and went to CRTV and showed the world how we release chiefs. Yes, because Ambazonians are the only armed group in the world. We are an armed group, yes. That is why the United Nations, the African nations, the African Union, the United States of America cannot call us terrorists. That is why I can go in front of the FBI and do a live show, free, look at me, free man in America, and I'm fighting to liberate my country. And the governments of these countries where activists stay, they know they know that we are freedom fighters. So I want to thank the government of the Republic for making the world to see us as a good people. That is a big diplomatic win. That we arrested chiefs because those chiefs committed abominations in our land. And they needed to do the cleansing. And they have done the cleansing. I want to say that we are going to arrest more people in the days ahead. Ekema will be surprised. We will arrest more because it is the law of the land. So if people think that La Republique was trying to harm us, no. I was watching and I was praying that they should take these chiefs to Yaoundé because I knew the chiefs did not speak. They did not speak contrary to what they said on the TV, on the Ambazonian, with the Ambazonian Restoration Forces. The one man you saw whose back was wounded, he came from Tole. He's not among the chiefs who was arrested. Ask that who was that chief's name. He was not a chief. He was a man who claimed that he was beaten up in Tole. If you were beaten up in Tole, go and look for the people who beat you up. It's not Ambazonia. Only La Republique took her own hand and then put us out there in the world. Do you remember the chief of Mbenyang in a Mojok subdivision? Yes, he was beaten, brutalized, murdered in cold blood. Only La Republique killed chiefs. Only La Republique burned down houses of chiefs. Look at the regent of Eshobi. His house was burned down. His motorcycle burned down by the Republic forces. Look at the chief palace in Oshe. The chief palace in Oshe was burned down by the Republic forces. Go to Angwa. The chief palace there was also burned down. Only the Republic burned down places. Go to the BLM. You saw them on camera. It's only the Republic that will burn down hospitals, like what they've done in Bongaire. Only the Republic kills men of God, like what they did to Reverend Father Alexander Sop in Moyoka, like what they did to Reverend Apostle Atto Isaac from Ghana, who was killed in Batibel. So we, the Pope of Ambazonia, we have had a first major diplomatic win that was given to us free by La République du Cameroon. Now, I want to say this, and I want you to quote me anywhere, anytime, that we are activating Gary 101 because it is important for all of Southern Cameroons to understand that this war is a genuine and legitimate fight. That is why, with all the military might, La Republique has been unable for many months or years to kill us and to keep us down. La Republique has been completely unable to make sure that this movement is killed. I want to tell you something, that God is a wonderful person. Because no matter what happens, you know, the people of Southern Cameroons, they remain very resilient. And so, when you look at the movement, you begin to understand the necessity of where we are going to. Before I enter into this other topic, that is about the bishop, I want to treat you to this other very important track, because today it would appear that I am going to stay in Bakweri land to tell the people of Bakweri that we will not listen to the antics of those who are trying to separate us. I am Bamenda. I am Bakweri. We will listen to Panya by Tata King there for 1 minute before we talk about what happened between the bishop and restoration forces. I'll be back.
That's right. Money no na nuela maya uno, money no na nuela maya uno. Inuwe ya mi wunda noe, noele maya. Money no na nuela maya, oeli vela. Udwa, wema, udwa, wema, udwa, wema, udwa. Money no na nuela maya uno.
Let's get everybody on board. Bring everybody on board.
Money no na nuela maya uno, money no na nuela maya, oeli vela.
This is a special day for the Bakuri people and the Bamenda people as well. Special day for you all. Of course, thank you very much. That beautiful piece from Tata Kinge brings us to talking about the incident between the Amba boys and the Bishop of Mamfe. Let's share and have everybody on board because this message is very important. Now, I just got briefed from Ground Zero, second stringers related to me, an incident that happened in Beme. Today, in Beme, no, that was yesterday, because it continued today. Beme is a village in Upper Bayang, and it shares boundary with other parts going up towards Kwano and Badable. You know, so as I heard, and I want to thank Restoration Forces for their prompt intervention and understanding. There was a misunderstanding between the Bishop of Mamfe and Restoration Forces around that area, in which, as I gathered, which is authentic, because I've confirmed with other sources, that the Restoration Forces misunderstood the humanitarian works of the Bishop of Mamfe. And so they approached the bishop questioning and thinking that the bishop had goods from the Republic. You know, according to what I gather in Central Ejagam, precisely in Kembong and in Tenako, which are, of course, in Eomojok subdivision, on Wednesday, I heard from very authentic sources that the Bishop of Mamfe and his team, the team from the Diocese of Mamfe, under the direct supervision of the Bishop of Mamfe, His Lordship, Dr. Anjun Kea, was in Central Ejagam, precisely, particularly in Tenako and Kembong, on Wednesday, where they offered goods and gifts to our displaced people. No, that was on Tuesday, that they were in Kembong and in Tenako. On Wednesday, the bishop moved with his team to Okoyom. Okoyom now is a town in Mamfe Central, where they also gave that Okoyom, where the terrorist soldiers attacked and raided the home of the priests. And so the bishop also gave out some goods for humanitarian purposes. And then on Thursday, the bishop moved to Number my 49. Number is spelled Numba. It is not number as in the numbers that you know. So the bishop moved to Number my 49. And then he also gave a lot of goods. And then the broad medical doctors came there from the church, where they attended to patients and all our sick people in the bushes. Some came to Number, some from Bifang, and everywhere they came there. According to the estimate, some people on the ground told me that from the 3 locations or 4 locations or the 3 trips that the bishop made in Tenako, Kembong, Okoyong, and Number, that's why I said 4 locations, but 3 trips, because Central Jagam, you have in Tenako and Kembong. So it was worth many millions. And remember that the Bishop of Mamfe was also in Nigeria just recently, where he spent, or where the church through him spent close to more than 40 million francs worth of goods to give our refugees in various camps. The Bishop of Mamfe was also in Nigeria last December, where he spent New Year Day with refugees in Akwaya and other parts. I want to also remind you that this same exercise is taking place in the Diocese of Kumba, where the Bishop of Kumba too is handing over gifts and some stuff from the church to the refugees, to the internally displaced persons, what you call IDPs. So, in the case of the Bishop of Mamfe, Restoration Forces thought that those goods were from the government. And so there was a little misunderstanding. And as soon as my people on the ground contacted me, I spoke directly with some of these freedom fighters on the ground. And I explained to them that no, the church has not taken any gift from La République du Cameroon. I know that I'm sorry that the bishops and the priests must be under a lot of tension from the government to get these gifts. So our people are also right to think that these gifts that they are distributing are from the government. No, please. I want you, all of you ground forces listening to me, to cooperate with men of God, to know that those people are neutral, whereas they're praying for justice, they're praying for peace, they're also praying for the rule of law and justice to prevail. And the justice here, of course, you know what is just for us whose relatives have been killed. So we want to, I want to seize this opportunity and say the people of Ambazonia, through my voice, are thankful to the Bishop of Mamfe and the Bishop of Kumba, who have been relentless in feeding our refugees. And we also want to thank the Restoration Forces for making this move to question the bishop, where they thought that it was a gift from the Republic. I think I applaud this move from the Restoration Forces, but thank God that there was not direct confrontation with the bishop. Although Restoration Forces were getting angry and they were sending threat messages, but I think that we have handled that situation, and we are instead very thankful to the church, to the diocese of Mamfe, as well as that of Kumba, for the beautiful work they are doing for our people. So we thank you all, the bishops, and we say that you should continuously feed the needy, and that the Restoration Forces have understood. However, the move from the Restoration Forces is to tell any individual, anybody who would at any time think that you can go under the cover of the church to connive with the regime in Yaoundé and the people will spare you. No, they will not spare you. I think while we respect all our bishops, the action too is a clear message to anybody who would think that we need those gifts from the Republic. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because any chief or community person who want to represent the people to go and take that gift from the Republic, I want to assure you that you will be garroted at once. Restoration Forces will not spare you, because we have firm instructions that those gifts should not be taken to our people. Firm instructions that we should ensure that nobody ever takes anything from the Republic. So if you do that, you have yourself to blame. Now, with that said, we thank the Bishop of Mamfe once more, and the bishop might be angry with me or with other activists that our boys are doing this, but we want to let the church know that we did not know that those gifts were not from the government until I have done my investigation. And now it is clear that the same exercise is going on in Kumba, and it's going on in Mamfe and in other dioceses. So we want to tell the church that they are free to move with their gifts to any location and give the people. But even if the bishops are sending their priests and everybody, they should make sure that they wear cassocks, the priestly regalia, because you know that the Republic kills anybody they see. So you have to be careful, because even as a priest, you can still be killed by the Republic. In the meantime, we thank the church once again. Now, I go to this very important issue that I've been talking every time. About the oil in southern Cameroon. Please, when you join, you share, and don't forget to write that southern Cameroon is one and indivisible. Now, you know, I told people in one of my very important live shows that the reason why they are killing us is because of our mineral resources, is because of the oil, is because of the gold, the banana, and all of those things that are extracted in southern Cameroon. And so we have concerted with restoration forces, and there are firm instructions that all these people from France, from China, from Russia, and from Britain, who are sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon, who are giving money to Mr. Biya to buy weapons and kill the people of southern Cameroon, should be arrested. I've said this time without number, that all these people must be arrested, because that is the only thing you must do. Listen, to arrest these people, it's a legal right, because you must stop any source where the occupier gets the strength to kill you. And in this case, they are getting that strength from all these companies who are drilling our oil off and onshore. And you will now know that La Republique is determined to kill every single one of us, all Ambazonians, because they want to occupy, recolonize us, and occupy our oil spaces forever. Now, in all of this, I want to say this, that the necessity of this movement would be in the arrest of these foreign nationals. I'm saying it on live video. My name is Eric TATAW. I'm not afraid to say that these people should be arrested. And the US government should listen to what I'm saying. That I'm saying that people, if the US government is not aware, let them hear me, that people from Russia, China, and you know that the United States of America already said it before they were withdrawing from the United Nations Human Rights Commission or whatever, Human Rights Council, that China is one of the countries with the highest percentage of human rights abuses. That is why they are doing what? They are supporting La Republique du Cameroon. And United States is withdrawing from that council. It's a big blow to the United Nations. The British and the French people are still there because they support human rights violation. They support human rights violation in that council. And definitely, people should understand that the only way we are sending this message to the United States, that we would arrest Chinese nationals in southern Cameroon. We would arrest British nationals, French and Russians from southern Cameroon. Any of them who will be seen anywhere in southern Cameroon will be arrested. I also want to say this to CAF, that the president of CAF should put it in his head. I know that La Republique don't stand a chance of hosting Cannes 2019. But just in case, I want to tell the man of CAF that any player that will come to Ambazonia, that they want to come and play any game in Limbe or Victoria, or to train anywhere in southern Cameroon, like in Boya, in Moliko, and in the other field in lower farms, those players will be arrested. No hotel in southern Cameroon is going to contain any player without a visa from the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. I want any player who is of any country, let them get this very clearly, that the 2019 Nations Cup cannot hold in southern Cameroon. It will not hold because we would arrest any player without a visa, without the visa of the interim government, without a visa from the people of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. No football game, no training session will take place in southern Cameroon. That one is a fact. Because the people of Ambazonia are determined to make sure that they prosecute this war to a logical end. And there is nothing anybody can do to stop us. So we will activate Operation Gary 102 that will carry right up to the Nations Cup, because we will begin to Gary any player. Listen, I want this to be clear. This is war, and we cannot have war in our country and people want to come and play a Nations Cup there. So I'm telling the people, the organizing committee of the African Nations Cup 2019, my name is Eric TATAW, quote me anywhere, that any player that will come to Ambazonia will be arrested. Because, listen, restoration forces do not joke with this particular plan. They don't have the kind of military, because Nations Cup, they cannot fight this war. Nations Cup is the period when we will turn that country. Where is Nations Cup? It's coming. That is when the international community will hear from us. Because if they want to call it kidnap or arrest or any name or capture, let them call it. We'll get any player, whether it is Cristiano Ronaldo, and any player that will come to Ambazonia, we'll arrest them. And then we will not end there. Listen to what I want to say. We will not end there. We'll move to La République du Cameroon. Because all the stadia that have been built, whether in Douala or in Bafoussam or in Yaoundé or anywhere that these players will be playing, those stadiums have been built. Those stadiums have been built with our money, from our resources. So we are sure that in the days ahead, the interim government will ask Mr. Biya a percentage of the money that they have signed to foreign parties to reimburse to the Ambazonian territory through my trip to Boya or other groups, to pay that money back into the account. The money that Mr. Biya has sold our oil, we have to ask the money. But when I look at Tanganjipo, please listen very well. When I look at Tanganjipo, I laugh. Because you say that you have a plane that will come and carry people. He will take Biya the whole of Africa to come and remove me from America or any other activists from any part of the world. Because that era has passed. It's no longer Nigeria. It's good that it's not even about Nigeria. Nigeria is Nigeria is our friend. Nigeria is our brother. The problem was Buhari. Buhari is going to go. A new government will come, and then we'll see from there. Everything, that's why I tell Ambazonians that we have to prosecute this war to a conclusive conclusion. Now, people who don't know, I want to say it here. Now, listen to me. The interim government and other foreign leaders must come together and then launch what we call a recovery project for the resources of Ambazonia. What did I call it? Recovery for the resources of Ambazonia means that we are asking the government of La République, I'm starting that campaign now, that we are asking the government of La République to pay back into our treasury all the money that they have sold our oil to all these companies. Now, let CAF listen to what I want to say. The government of Mr. Biya has to pay back all the money, everything that they have sold our oil. We know the deals. They will pay back. Now, if they don't pay back before the Nations Cup, we will now destroy all the fields, all the training grounds, all the stadia that they have used our oil money to contribute as part of their own portion in building those stadia. So, players should be aware that any African team that is coming to Cameroon should know that whether you're coming to Cameroon as La République or Cameroon Ambazonia, you should know that that government owes us billions from the oil that they have sold, and we are going to take it during that period. If they don't give us, we will now move to destroy all those fields that they have used to our money in building them. Yes, we will destroy all the stadiums. It means that if there are players in that field, will come there and destroy it during that period. No game. I want to tell you something. This is a campaign. Nations Cup will not even hold. But if Nations Cup will hold, Ambazonia will be the party to collect tickets for the Nations Cup. Yes, because we have to, the interim government and other foreign leaders should, excuse me. If Nations Cup will hold, there is only one country that will collect tickets, that will collect pay, royalties of the Nations Cup will be paid to Ambazonia, not to the Republic. Because that is our money that they have used in building those stadia. So all those fields, pitches that have been constructed with Ambazonia money, if they don't pay us royalty, they don't pay back money into those the account that the interim government will give them, will destroy all those fields. No Nations Cup will hold, not in Ambazonia, not in the Republic, because it is our money that they have used in building. Listen, quote me anywhere. Any player that will come, they will guarantee that player. Yes, because they cannot give the Republic money to kill us and then we stay quiet. No, we have stayed quiet for too long, and it is during Nations Cup that they will know that a country exists. We are going there to take our possession because that is our right. We will not accept it anymore. So if anybody, any African nations, any team from the African countries that's coming there, that they want to come and play Nations Cup, they are coming to meet full-blown war. Full-blown war. So let it be clear, very clear, that the money that the Republic has taken from the oil deals must be refunded to Ambazonia. That is a fact. If they don't refund the money, we will now move over to destroy all the stadia that are built with our monies. That is a fact. So the interim government, I hope in the days ahead, they will now launch a recovery fund that they will bring how much we think that the Republic is owing us. First and foremost, how much the Republic is owing us, they bring the money from all our plantations, from all the oil that they have sold. If they don't bring it now, we will not shortlist companies in the Republic and properties that have been built with our money, and we'll give them a deadline. If they don't give us that money, we'll make sure that we destroy those things. And we'll start with the stadia that they have built for the African Nations Cup. That is a fact. Okay, now, I want to talk about this other important thing. Some people say I should talk about blocking roads. Restoration forces already know about all of those things. I think they know what to do, and they have been doing it very effectively. Thank you so much for the reminder, my brother. God bless you. Because, you know, one hand cannot tie a bundle. So what you have said, the restoration forces have taken note. I know they know exactly what to do. But I want to insist on this point. Please, if you join, you share extensively so that everybody can get this message. Let it go to the Republic that we are going to launch a campaign known as Ambazonia Oil Money Recovery Campaign, where we are going to have back our money from all the oil and minerals that they have sold to France. And then we kick France, Britain, Russia, and China out. And then the Republic will pay back what they have taken from us. If they don't pay, we'll make sure that we destroy everything that they build with our money. That is a fact. That is a fact. So if Atanga and the poor case stays, he can deceive himself with the came and not us. That they will come and arrest who? Arrest who where? This is not serious. So when they say that you should go to the market and go and buy people who are afraid of arrest, you come and be buying these people who talk on Facebook. You think that people want to come and put their faces here like this? What else are we scared of? Let me just announce that in the days ahead, a Kema will hear from us. Yes, we will do something that he will not believe. So let him just wait and wait. He is going to hear. With that said, I want to talk about SCBC and ABC. These are two TV stations. I already talked about Ghost Town. I also congratulated the Bishop of Mamfe. And of course, I want to talk about our TV stations. I call it our TV stations because I said from the beginning that I am not in support of the creation of a new TV station. That was my opinion, and I still stand by it. However, because I was going to ask the management of SCBC to also share the contract with me if they care, in order for us to analyze a couple of things. But I see that ABC is already functioning, and SCBC is also functioning. And so it is important at this juncture for me to say that as someone who believes in liberalism, though at this moment I think it's absolutely wrong for the creation of a second TV, but it would appear the interim government could not mend the situation with the SCBC, and the ABC is formed. I also hear they will not be spending little or nothing on the ABC. As I hear, I want to say that I am still carrying out my investigation as to what must have transpired between these two bodies to know exactly what my conclusion will be in the days ahead. In the meantime, I followed my brother Mark Barita talked about the SCBC and ABC, and you know how it is important for these two TV stations to operate, for us to give our support to the SCBC as well as the ABC. I am not opposed to what Mark said, because what he said has a lot of wisdom, and I think that I support him. But you also want to remember that we criticized the act when they also talked of a TV station, because we said that we didn't need a second TV station, and yet we're having a second TV station. But I also want to appreciate the fact that the SCBC has already started taking Comrade Ayabacho on TV, just immediately after they parted ways with the interim government. Nobody has a monopoly. I've said this several times. Normally, SCBC was not supposed to be a matter of only Dr. Sako or Siseko coming on live. No, it was supposed to be for every frontline leader. And now, this juncture, since we have the two TV stations already working, and Comrade Ayabacho and the rest, they're already identifying themselves too with the SCBC going there. I think it's a first step towards collaboration. But I will frown at any move that the SCBC would do to sabotage the interim government, or the interim government would do to sabotage the SCBC. So in essence, what I'm saying is that we have to come as a team to work together, and we put our strength in on one spot, one place, so that we can beat the enemy. And we don't want to have all these videos, so everybody coming sometime to defend what another person said. We will not be tolerating all those kind of audios anymore. That is why in the group that we are as activists, we have had very heated conversation and even insulted ourselves, but we have not had any of those things gone out there, because we remain as a team no matter the differences. We look forward to seeing everybody at this conference organized by the interim government, and I know a lot of people will be asking questions about why the Canadian conference did not hold and stuff like that. I was personally opposed to the Canadian conference because of the distance in terms of where the leaders and other activists are, because Canada has about 5% of the frontline leaders, while America has like 80%, and then Belgium and Norway also has quite a figure. But generally, Ambazonians are spread all over. I'm not talking about Ambazonia, I'm talking about the leaders. And so it was just economically, or should I say cost effective, for us to have the conference here in the United States. So with that said, I have not concluded anything on what the SCBC should be or the ABC should be, but I will leave you people by telling you people that I still pledge my unflinching support to the SCBC, because it is the one TV station that I've known before the interim government introduced the ABC. That is not to say that I'm against the ABC. I'm instead against the creation of another TV station where we already have a TV station that we could have made great. But if the interim government says that the ABC is not going to be consuming us money, because I hear that the interim government has spent over more than $100,000 or $150,000 from the time of Seseko till now on bills for the SCBC. I'm also going to investigate all of these things and to be sure that we are okay. I want to draw your attention to one thing, Atta John. You are doing a great job, but I want you to also desist from every time insulting Comrade Dr. Ayabacho Lucas. I want everybody to desist. We can talk topical issues because it is not fair for us to continuously see people who attack frontline leaders. We will not accept it. And after John, I want you to also understand that there is nothing you can do to stop SCBC from functioning, because if you say you don't watch SCBC, of course, you always watch it in your background to get the programs there, because those are just talks. I also want to say that other groups should stop taking credit from other groups. We have had complaints from people in DOP who have who did the prison break, and they brought down the prison, and then the prison, of course, freed some prisoners, and we had people from the ADF or AGC who came and put up a fake program or fake stuff saying that it was the ABC or the ADF that did that job. I want to say here categorically, like I've just told Arthur John to stop talking to leaders. We don't want to have these people taking people, insulting people. I also want to tell the AGC that please, we should not go back to what we did about Bechati when the BLM youths organized themselves and brought down the brigade in Bechati. Comrade Ayabacho immediately put on his wall, claiming that the AGC did that attack. It's the same thing that are going back to Ndop. Ndop people cannot contribute money and give their youths to do something, and then you come and claim responsibility. That is being dishonest, and Eric TATAW will not accept it. So long as we want to remain united, that's why I've cautioned other activists, I've advised, and Mark and I too have discussed about all these things, that we don't need to be reporting and calling names of this group did this. We have talked all these things with the acquisitions and the rest, that all these things, we are not supposed to do them. So I want the ADF and the AGC to stop taking credit when people do their jobs. Because of course, this job, in the prison, I can show you when I received the news from the prison. I have discussion with some guys who were working on this. I have a couple of other things, other prisons around that things are going to be happening. We cannot say them now. We don't want any group coming to claim the responsibility because something happened in Kumbu. AGC say they are there, whereas they are not. It happens in DOP. I mean, we don't have to do this. You go and take 2 people and put on a road in Batibo, and then you do an entire video advertising the ADF. These things have to stop. We don't want to get to insulting leaders anymore, but we have to caution people when it's wrong. Because I don't want to talk with a kind of tone, because this is a kind of advice I'm giving to groups, that we will no longer have all of these kind of things happening where people are doing all of this. Cyril Nancy said it was a fake account. No, it wasn't a fake account. The ADF, ADC said that they did something in Ndop, which was not true. No, the Ndop stuff was done by Ndop youth who organize themselves. We're also having things that have happened in Bambaland and other places. So one group to stop taking credit of other group. That's why Eric TATAW will only say armed group or restoration forces. I will never say, okay, look at what happened in Ashum. The Manu Ghost fighters or Ghost warriors, they destroyed a whole armor car in Ashum village. Ashum is in Upper Bayang when you go through Kumba, going after Nguti and all of that side, going towards Eya Las Konta. Ashum, they destroyed a whole armor car. It was done by the Manu Ghost fighters. But I can say it because I want to correct a fact. But I cannot go and announce it that the Manu Ghost fighters, they would give me all of those things. I will see images, but I cannot call the group. I also want to say that we need to remain as a team. Meanwhile, I want to tell the people of Bombay, Bakundu, that I've also heard their cries, and that Atanga and Jipo has paid boys. That one is not about, I'm very honest when they are Amba boys. Atanga and Jipo has paid boys to go to Bombay, Bakundu, to ensure that they are terrorizing the community to put them against the Amba boys. No Amba boy can actually do what is happening in that community. So I want to say that we are aware of the situation in Bombay, Bakundu, and that the population should be aware that those boys who are doing those things there, they are not Amba boys, they are boys paid by the Republic. I told you the little incident between the Amba boys and the Bishop of Mamfe. I could not change the story that they were not Amba boys, because I want to be as honest as possible, because that's the only time that you take me serious. Again, after John, please stop this nonsense of insulting Comrade Ayaba. I'm going to tell you today that you are beginning to make yourself very insignificant to the movement by insulting Comrade Ayaba every time. Do say the right thing at the right time and stop giving people names. I also want to say that some of you heard that they said they attacked Red Dragons. The Red Dragons were never attacked. Even the pictures that you heard about 40 restoration forces being killed. If the Republic kills 40 restoration forces, you will see those pictures line up. So all those things are fake news, but we had some lyric casualties in Konya and in other parts which were not up to 8 of our men that were killed, which is normal. Sometimes some things go wrong. So I think that basically I've touched on everything, and I want to thank the people of Southern Cameroon for your trust. I want to thank you people. I know my account is basically being frozen, especially the first account. We're going to get this so that we'll have everybody. Sometimes some posts say they don't have the notification, and then those who are watching me, you complain that you don't get the news that I post everything on National Telegraph official page that is sponsored and monitored by Facebook. And so if you want to follow news there's only one way to follow news on a page. You have to go to the page, you click like and follow. That's the only way you can subscribe to follow news on the page. We are also going to get to YouTube because we want everybody to also try to get out there so that all other people who use YouTube, they can get to some of these videos. So I want to thank you all guys once more. God bless you. And don't forget that I've talked about Bombe Bakundu and other parts. I also forgot one very important thing that I'll mention in my next show, that I want to send a warning signal to the councils in Bamenda, because I've made to understand that some council workers now ask relatives to pay money before they collect their corpses killed by La République du Cameroon. What we're going to do is that if this attitude were to continue, because when they go and dump those corpses in the mortuary, and our people go to collect them, the council now will stay back and ask for money. They'll ask for money, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 before those people collect those corpses. So what we'll do is that if it continues from Monday after Ghost Town, I'll have to get the feedback about those corpses. If they continue, what we'll do is that we'll now launch a special Gary process on all council workers in Bamenda. So council workers, advise their mayors, advise the government delegate that they should stop. Anybody who is doing this illegally should stop asking money from our people. I'm going to come back, and I want to thank you once more, and I want to extend my sincerest condolences to the family of Dakwas Sambe Roland,